What's good, FG fam, and welcome back to the Oakland A's franchise on MLB the Show 23. Today we take a closer look at the minor leagues with our major league team clearly out of the running. There are 3 AA hitters in the top 6 in average in the Texas League, while Jack Cushing leads the league in wins while having a tremendous season for a guy who was not on our prospect radar to start the season. Brennan Malone is a guy that we have high hopes for, and he has a solid 9 wins, having a very good year for himself. Charles Hall is definitely not somebody we expected to throw 40 saves out there at this time of the year, but we're proud of his season for sure. Adrian Martinez, though, a long reliever, is the man with the lowest ERA in the Texas League. Another surprise. With the Rockhounds sitting at 23-9, 6 games up, can they close out the division and maybe win the AA chip? To Iron Horse Stadium we go. The 23-9 Rockhounds take on the 15-17 Rough Riders. And it's Spencer Howard on the mound for the Rough Riders, 8-6 and a 3.42 ERA on his season. Jarvis King leading off, one of those average leaders, and he puts one right past the shortstop, can't get in his glove, and that is a leadoff base hit. Manuel Tavares comes up and he laces one into center field. Both of the leadoff hitters on the bags with nobody away for Tyler Soderstrom, who goes down swinging. Only a 226 average for Soderstrom. That brings up Miguel Bleis, who hits this one into center field. This one is an easy catch out there in the field. And no tag-up attempt. That'll bring up Benny Rausch, and he will ground one over to third base, and that's easily taken over to second for the final out of the inning. Jack Cushing is the guy we're here to see today. A 13-6 record and a 2.46 ERA with a 1.28 whip on the season, 110 strikeouts. Let's see what he can do against this Rough Rider lineup. Chavez leading off with a 2.31 average. He's trying to get it past Muncy, and Muncy makes a nice play, but it's not in time. I guess that's why he's a leadoff hitter. Here's Zavala. Aaron Zavala puts it into right field. Christian Pache, who has had just a rough year going from the majors all the way down to AA. Here's Jack Cushing pitching to Krim, and there's a catch for Pache. The throw will be nowhere in time to home, and that's the first run of the ball game. Here's Figueroa, and he's up with a fly ball out to left here on this rainy day. Jarvis King will put it away for the second out of the bottom of the first. Cushing throwing the pitch, and he gets the strikeout right down Broadway there. That'll bring up Chavez here in the second. He goes down swinging as well. Jarvis King in the top of the third is going to lace one into left field. That's going to get over everybody's head all the way up to the wall, and Jarvis King's going to have a leadoff double in the top of the third. Manuel Tavares trying to help out, and there you go. Second time today, both those players get back-to-back hits. And now it's runners on the corners for Miguel Bleis with one out in the inning, and he hits this one. That's another fly ball out for him. The tag-up attempt for Jarvis King to come home is going to be good. It is a 1-1 ball game. Benny Rausch up at the plate, and he takes a strikeout, called strike 3. Looked like he held up, and now the game's held up, as a rain delay will bring in Luis Medina, who had a 6-2 record so far with a 5.06 ERA. Hasn't been easy for him. He's one of the top pitching prospects in the organization. It hasn't been his greatest year. Here's Ornelas up at the plate, and he's going to take strike 3, not even offer at it. That'll bring up Osuna, and Osuna goes down swinging, and that'll end the 4th inning. What a pitching performance for Medina. We'll be right back. And in the top of the 5th, it's Tyler Soderstrom with a runner on first, and he gets this one gapped all the way to the wall and running all the way around third. Attempt throw to the plate is not in time, as that will be a lead off of a Tyler Soderstrom RBI double. So the Rough Riders will bring in Nick Snyder, who is having an alright season. There's Miguel Bleis over to shortstop, and that will put it away to get through the top of the 5th. Here's Jeremy Eierman in the top of the 6th. And Ironman takes this thing out deep to left, and it is over the wall and gone. Jeremy Ironman will give the Rockhounds an extension of the lead with his 4th dong of the year. 374 feet that one travels, and it's a 3-1 game. Here's Khalil Watson at the plate with one away, and Watson puts this thing in the gap all the way to the wall. Watson, an easy stand-up double with one away. Here's Max Muncy now, and Muncy will blue flare this one into right, and Khalil Watson scores all the way from second. We've got a 4-1 game. Christian Pache now will dribble one over to second, and this is why he's in AA. Bottom 6, Medina in a bit of trouble. Tanilu, though, is going to hit a pop-up over to second. Max Muncy ranges back, makes the play. We're through 6. Lucas Jacobson coming into the game against Jarvis King, who's 2 for 3 on the day. He's going to take the walk here in the top of the 7th, put himself on base for Manuel Tavares, and these two have been doing damage all day together as Tavares with a hit will put 2 on with nobody away. That'll bring up Miguel Blyce again. As you can tell, the 3-hole hitter Soderstrom's not getting the job done, but here's Blyce all the way to the warning track. No tag-up attempt, really close to a 3-run shot. But the Rough Riders have seen enough. They're going to bring in Chase Lee here, as Jacobson really only goes 4 batters. So Benny Roush is going to get struck out swinging, and that's through the middle of the 7th as the pitching change works. And now the Rockhounds with a pitching change. Adrian Martinez, top reliever in AA this year. There's a strikeout right there. Martinez on Martinez crime. And I'll bring up Chavez, and Chavez looking to hold up. He didn't do it. He's down on strikes. I'll bring up Aaron Zavala, and this one, a grounder over to Khalil Watson, who will throw it on to first in an easy 1-2-3/8 inning. So here's Christian Pache to lead off the top of the 9th, and Pache with one of his best hits all season long. That one goes all the way up against the wall, and it's a big-time double for Christian Pache. Tyler Soderstrom at the plate, and like I said, not much going on for him, as he will be the one to end the hitting for Midland. In comes Charles Hall, and Chucky with 40 out of 43 save opportunities. See if he can make it 41 today with a big strikeout of Blaine Krim to start his day. I'll bring up Ornelas with 2 gone, and he is out of there. The Rockhounds will win the ball game 4-1, and you can see why this team has been so dominant. A combined 3-hitter from this pitching staff. Medina will end up with the win. We're going to check out their next series against the Arkansas Travelers, and you can see they're not playing the best of competition, and they've got Brennan Malone on the mound. 9-2 with a 2.90 ERA, 131 whip. It will go up against Juan Fen, who has a 4.28 ERA and a 152 whip. Not exactly the greatest pitching staff there in Arkansas. Here's Jarvis King to lead the game off. And Jarvis King into the gap. Easy double for him. That'll be a stand-up double. And then with the pitch to Miguel Blyce, he gets a base knock, and that will bring home the first run of the ball game as Midland with the 1-0 lead, but again interrupted by rain. So another rain delay. This one's going to last for an hour. So Medina comes in again, but this time he is not having a great relief opportunity here, as he's going to give up 2 runs on a base hit to left. So now here, pitcher getting tired, you can see that, but he is able to get through the 5th. Medina just having a rough time. A lot of base runners, but only allowed a couple runs. We'll be back. Now here's Walking Cabrera. What a name, but he goes down swinging, and that's going to get through the 6th, as Medina had a tough time, but we are ready to get it going here. Max Muncy in a 3-3 game gets this one into left, can't be caught, and Muncy will drive home a run, the leading run. We'll see if we can add more with Christian Pache at the plate, and Pache actually gets this one past third base. Pache will end up with a big RBI, making it 5-3. Holding on to that lead until the 8th, it's Garrett Acton, and this is a base hit into center field. Blyce is going to throw home. It's not in time. 5-4 game. This is a tight one here. Walking Cabrera up at the plate again. He goes down swinging. Garrett Acton able to get the strikeout. So we go bottom 8. Christian Pache with 2 on and 1 away. And Pache bloops this thing into left. He is just hitting well. Unfortunately, the base running a little too aggressive. But it is a 6-4 game, and Jarvis King goes down swinging to end the 8th. Now it's Charles Hall looking to close this thing out with 2 away already, and Drew Ellis is going to hit this in foul territory, and Jarvis King with a lovely catch out there in foul territory for the 6-4 Rockhounds win. Garrett Acton picks up the win. Chucky Hall with his 42nd save of the season. Tyler Soderstrom was injured during simulation, and that is going to end his season with a torn Achilles tendon. And the Rockhounds will go to Wagon Man Stadium and take on the Amarillo Sod Poodles, one of my favorite names in all of AA. Jackson Goddard is having an incredible season for them. He's only started 5 games, though. We'll see if we can tag him up today, and Jeremy Ironman is going to do just that with an absolute moonshot out to center. A 3-run jack for Ironman, and he has been swinging it well these last few games. Jeremy Ironman, 7 home runs now. Remember, we hit his 4th earlier in this episode, and he has just been on fire here in August. Charles Hall coming in to close this thing out as it is still 3-0. He has 51 saves on the board now as we've done a good little bit of simulation. And Garrett Woolforth up at the plate is going to hit this thing into right with 1 away already. Pache, the one thing you can rely on is his glove as he makes the out. Jose Herrera, the last hope, will strike out, and Charles Hall has been reliable closing these games. And it is 3-0, literally just off of the Ironman early 3-run shot. Francisco Morales takes the dub. We hand Jackson Goddard his first loss. So it's time for September call-ups, and the 2 players that will be making the leap for a short stint at the Major League level are Ken Waldachuk, who has a 2.80 ERA in AAA, and Thomas Rodriguez, who in AAA is hitting 2.78 with 15 dong. That move allows us to not have to change the AA team at all. The Aviators in AAA are 5 games back of the River Cats and the Rainiers, but only play the River Cats from now until the end of the season. That's a big 6-game set upcoming. To Iron Horse Stadium we go as the Sacramento River Cats come to town against the Vegas Aviators. Gunnar Hoglund, 15 starts, 3-6 record, 4.63 ERA. It hasn't been great, and it's not great here in the first, but he does get the strikeout of Brett Whistler, and then Clint Coulter comes up and gets the single anyways that will bring home the first run of the ball game. Sacramento up 1-0. Hunter Bishop to the plate, and Bishop gets a single up the middle. No, Bride leans over, makes the play, and a very nice throw to first. That'll bring in Joe Ross, who is going to be the pitcher for the River Cats today. 3.65 ERA, 141 whip, but only a 10-10 record, so his team hasn't helped him out much, but that's not going to stop him from striking out Butler. So Gunnar Hoglund up against Hunter Bishop again with 2 on in the 4th inning, and Bishop going to bring home a run for the lead. 2-1 River Cats. Almondo Alvarez comes up, and Butler ranging over to try to make the play. He can't do it. We've got some runners pushing a runner to home. Look at this. The aggressive base running doesn't pay off. Ford Proctor, though, comes up and gets a base hit down the right field line. Butler's not able to field that one very well either. It's a 3-1 ball game, and the relay isn't going to help. That'll make it a 4-1 ball game. And the River Cats are just smoking us right now. Here's Jax Groshans, and he gets this one off of the glove of the second baseman, who was ranging perhaps too far. We get the run home, but he's out at second trying to get too many bags. There's Logan Davidson up at the plate, and he gets this one right down the left field line in the bottom of the 6th. That's going to bring home a run. Makes it 4-3. Close game. Jax Groshans looking for another hit. He can't get it. He swings through. That's the end of the 6th. Daniel Tilo coming into this game 4-2 with a 1.85 ERA on his season. He's been a very nice reliever. So in he comes, and Logan Davidson with a dribbler onto short. He can't beat it out. That's the first out of the bottom of the ninth. Here's Groshans, and he hits this one into right field. That's a routine fly ball for out number 2. Last hope, Zach Geloff, and he takes a beanball on the back of his leg. Not something I expected T-Lo to do, but here's Jonah Bride. Opportunity to keep the game going, not gonna happen. River Cats win this one 4-3. We kind of needed to sweep all 6 of these games. The River Cats take the dub. Gunnar Hoagland goes to 3-7. The Aviators would take the next game 4-3 with Kyle Muller getting the win and Damon Stahl recording his 37th save. But by the end of the series, we're still 4 games back of the Rainiers and 1 back of the River Cats. Meanwhile, the Rockhounds were 11.5 games up, playing their final game of the regular season. Rockhounds and the Wichita Windsurge. That's a bit of a tongue twister, not gonna lie. The Windsurge have not had a great year, and Matt Cantorino has not had the best of seasons either, at least in run support. Francisco Morales has had a lot more run support, and he has about the same season as Cantorino, so this should be a great pitching matchup. Miguel Blyce up the middle in the top of the first will score the first run of the ball game already. And now load the bases up for Khalil Watson, who's gonna ground into a double play. Come on, Watson, we expect more from you. Manuel Tavares comes up to the plate in the top of the second with them loaded, though, and he's going to bring home not 1, but 2 runs in a 3-0 Midland lead. Christian Franklin in the 3-hole today, and there in the top of the second, going to get the out in center field with a line out. The tag-up attempt is good. Later on, it's a 5-3 game, and look at the strikeout to end the 8th by Jack Weisenberger. That sets it up for Charles Hall, who gets a strikeout here with a runner on second. Kyle Garlick, I love Garlick, but we gotta strike him out. And Charles Hall does just that for his 57th save of the year. The Rockhounds take a 6-game set 5-1. Catcher Jax Groshans was injured with a broken hand, ending his season in AAA, and the Aviators would miss out on the postseason. Despite an 80-70 season, I'm proud of them. The Rockhounds finish at 49-20 and win their division. They also won the first half of the season, securing a bye in the playoffs. Final game of the regular season for our Major League Oakland A's. It's against the team they started the season, the Angels, and Tony Kemp goes down against Reed Detmers. That brings up Manny Pena. He goes down swinging in the middle of the third, and that is going to get us scoreless still. But the Angels take the lead here, bottom third. Shohei Ohtani is called out on strikes. Nice pitching performances so far. Ramon Laureano in a tie game in the bottom of the fourth, looking to bring home some runners, and he does just that with a big-time double. And that is a 2-run double for Ramon Laureano, making it 3-1. At this point, 3-2. Max Stassi is frozen by Britton in the bottom of the ninth. David Fletcher with 2 on. This is a grounder over to first. Seth Brown takes the easy out, doesn't go for the double play. Probably not his smartest idea, but Anthony Rendon has just been struggling at the plate for a couple of years now, and he goes down swinging. The Oakland Athletics win the ball game 3-2, just like they did on opening day. They beat the Angels. They do it again. James Kaprelian with a 13-8 season. We knew the A's would not be a playoff team in year number 1, but 71-91 is a bit better than I expected them to be, so I'm proud of the squad. Big season news: Jacob deGrom led in nearly all of the major pitching categories with the AL's best ERA, strikeouts, complete games, innings pitched, whip, and pitching WAR. Mike Trout also ends the season with a 9.9 batting WAR. Also insane. As far as our Oakland Athletics, Jace Peterson hits .276 with 12 dingers, and our top OPS, Seth Brown has the most bombs with 23. Laureano only hit .226 with 16 dongs, but there was a lot of mediocre stats here in year number 1. Leo Farrell put together a nice .290 with 7 homers and a .781 OPS, which was second on the team. Hoffman was third with a .779 OPS and only 3 dongs, but he did hit .297, and he stole 28 bags. Remember, he did miss like a month and a half of the season. As for pitching, we wanted the young guys to show out, but they just aren't ready, it seems. Muller, Harris, Ellis, Waldachuk, all average at best in the majors. Jackson, Fujinami, and Suarez were just fine, but it was actually James Kaprelian, Acevedo, and Alvarez who were the top pitchers for us this season. The MLB playoffs are set, but with our A's out of it, Next episode, we're going to put more of an emphasis on the AA playoffs, where the Midland Rockhounds will face off against the Tulsa Drillers in a 5-game set for the top spot in AA. Who will prevail? Let me know your thoughts on the season and the upcoming playoff series in the comments section below and find out who wins it next episode. Thank you all for the support on this series, and thank you channel members for going above and beyond for me and the channel. Much love, FG fam. Stay tuned.